Thank you, fellow Sophians. You see, you live at the back, I live up in the front, but we are all residents of Sophia. And of course, to start off, I built my house in North Sophia in 1985, 7 years before I became a minister. So nobody can say a thief to make me house. Right? And I'm moving here with my wife. I still live there with my wife. Yes. And 4 children. Yes, children. And we also have 6 grandchildren. The last, my daughter named Aaron. And you know why she probably named him Aaron? Hoping that when he grows up, I can tell him to take this rod, cast it down, and show them the wrath of God. This is a meeting I like to come to. Street corner meeting. This old warrior likes the street. Likes the grassroots. Because when I talk to you here, it's like talking from the heart. One-on-one, we're getting a gap here tonight. And I got some important things to tell you. I know Ryan and the others would have given you the catalog of developments that have taken place in Guyana in less than 5 years. As the chairwoman said, I have been around for a very long time. This is the 5th president I'm working with, and next year will be 60 years I'm in politics. Been around very long. I know the corners, but I know the people I'm going to talk to you about. So we have some people talking that this government gave away the oil. The organization calls itself Global Witness. And those of us like my son James Bond and I, who practice in court as lawyers, we come across witnesses in court, and before you're allowed to testify, you have to swear to an oath to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. This global witness is a lying witness, is a false witness, a fake witness. And I want to use this opportunity tonight to say to the world that never again, never would we allow those with vested interests, big interests, to come and fool us and divide us and turn us against each other. When the companies offshore in the Atlantic, when they struck oil, they also brought up, they also dug up the bones of your ancestors and my ancestors, many of whom died in the Atlantic crossing when they came here, brought here as slaves and indentured workers, to be exploited, to be used and abused and refused. So never again would we allow people to mess around with our rights. mess around with what belongs to us. And this group that was brought here to issue the report and timed release just before an election is meant to confuse your mind that when we negotiated for 2% royalty and 50% share in the profits of the oil, that we sold the Guyanese people out. They said just before the election we should stop the production of oil. We already sent out 1 million barrel crude, but they say stop it. Why? They said they calculate that for 40 years from now, Guyana is losing 55 billion US dollars. Listen to me carefully. We will lose because they wanted us to negotiate for more from the company. Now, you know the story about the dog and the bone. When the dog had a big bone in his mouth and he go to cross the trench, he see shadow inside and he decide to grab for the big bone he see in the shadow and he lost the bone he had in his mouth. So now these people who are saying don't continue with oil production, demand more money, I tell you what we're having according to this global witness. Look at the report. They said Guyana will make 4.5 billion US dollar a year for 40 years. But that Guyana should take more. Stop production and demand more. Well, our budget is $300 million a year. 4.5 billion US will give you $900 million a year. Billion dollars a year. 3 times the budget. It means that we can do 3 times the things we have been doing in the last 4 years. 3 times the salary, 3 times the pension, 3 times the allocation for schools, for hospitals, 3 times for roads and bridges and lights, 3 times for housing and development of land, 3 times for everything we are now spending. But they want us to be like the dog and the bone, thinking that we are colonials, we are stupid. That is why one of them, who is a PPP member of candidate, Juan Ramson Jr., he stood up in the parliament, I don't know if James remember this, and he making a speech and he wanted to refer to the battalions. And he said the battalions. He named a lot of the battalions of people who were supporting them. But he ended up saying the battalions supporting the PPP and Jagdeo. Well, he joined up now as a candidate with the battalions. And he said that day, when we were celebrating first oil on December 20th, that we were producing oil, he said there was no reason to celebrate. There was no reason to celebrate, and that Guyana has lost out on getting a good deal. So these people have an interest to keep you down, and they're bearing false witness to say we should stop production of oil. But let me tell you this, after March 3rd, when we are returned to office with a resounding victory, we will continue continue to lead this country and to use our revenues to give the life that we promised you, the good life. And no one is going to take that away from you. So I want you to remember what I say here tonight, that wickedness is afoot. These are not false witnesses only. This is false wickedness. To issue a report hoping that people will turn against their own government and that we were corrupt and they couldn't prove that the deal that we made was bad. Jack Dale, and then when the PPP, I was with the PPP then, they negotiated for 0.5% and 1% royalty. We double what they negotiated. We got by far a better deal at a time when Essequibo was under threat from the Venezuelans. And Jack Dale said he will give the Venezuelans a channel out to the sea. And that channel he gave runs right across all of our oil resources. He wanted to give away the oil resources to the Venezuelans. We stood up and we decided that we will have to negotiate and negotiate quickly before the oil company pull out from Guyana, feeling they were under threat. And they gave us a cash signing bonus of 18 million US, so that we take the best lawyers in the world to defend our territory, to defend our land, to defend our oil and gas resources. And David Granger, the patriot of Guyana, he took through the United Nations the case to the International Court of Justice to have a final solution, which Venezuela has not decided to accept, so they boycotted the court. And we are waiting for that final decision so that we will not give up not one blade of grass, not one kura, not one drop of oil. So today, when I stand here before you to bear witness, it is to bear truthful witness, to let you know that mischief is afoot. And of course, the mischief is caused by the smell of oil. The smell of oil. I have known these people. When Sherry Jagan died, the Moscow gang activated itself. And you had one pharaoh took over. Then you had a second pharaoh took over. And I think that by then I had enough. And so I decided to sing to them a song as I left to join up the coalition, the AFC, and then the coalition. Go down, Moses. Go down, Egypt. Tell Pharaoh. I'll have to sing that again. Tell them bald-headed Pharaoh, let my people go. And that is how the new history of Guyana started. When I walk away from the pharaohs, when I walked away from the corrupt gangs, when I saw them team up with the narco criminals, drug traffickers, when I walked out of Freedom House, I slammed the door, I said, "I'm done with all you." When I asked them, "Why is it you're teaming up with that squad people to kill young people, kill innocent people?" I slammed the door, walk out. But I didn't close the door finally. It was not until 2011 I bear the torture and the abuse. And when it was timely, I walked and I told the Pharaoh, let my people go. So today, you have seen the result of working together, of 6 parties coming together in a coalition, a multi-party coalition, a rainbow coalition, representing all the races of Guyana, all the ethnicities, all the cultural groups of Guyana. And we must not go back to one-party rule, one-party dictatorship, one-party authoritarian rule. We must not go back to one-party rule that is corrupt. And they know, when I talk about corrupt, I know how they used to spell corrupt in the PPP. They spell it with 3 P. C-O-R-R-U-P-P-P. T-I-O-N. 3 P's in the corruption. They stamp it with the party seal. And that was not the Jagan party. That was the Jagir party. They turned it up and they hijacked it and they broke it up. Today they are divided. They are divided. You look at the platforms. There are no big leaders there. Jagir tried a thing with Rabotar in 2011 and he lost. Put him in front because he wanted a 3rd term. Couldn't get it, so he wanted a front man. Joey Jagan said, the 2 of them, right now, they said one is a front man and one is a back man. Right? They're the back ballers. We don't need back ballers in this government. Again, he find another front man or another back man. I don't know who is in front and who is in back. All I know is that they're practicing a song. Back to back, belly to belly. We don't tear down, we don't get ready. That's the kind of back and front I know of. But President David Granger said that this is like a race, a horse race. I came from a home where my father owned a horse. I literally grew up with a horse track. That is why when you see me in a political meeting, you can't stop this thoroughbred. I like a racetrack. I like an election like how I like a race. So, in this race, we put up a thoroughbred. Thoroughbred name is David Arthur Granger. On the other side, all you're seeing is the jockey. You ain't seeing the horse. In every race, you got a jockey riding the horse. And the horse wins the race. In this one here, Jack Dale is a jockey. And he mounted the horse. He in front and the horse behind. Granger does not have a match in this presidential race. And worse yet, in the Barbies area, Port Moran, they had a horse named Craco Jack. You know the horse Craco Jack? Every time they race, the tape down like this. All the horses running that way, Craco Jack running the other way. Bolting. So in every race, you have the thoroughbred and you got the Kangala. So this one, whose name pronounced MIA, missing in action, Mohammed Irfan Ali. MIA, missing in action. Right? He's the Kangala in the race against our thoroughbred. So on March 2nd, we are confident of victory. But like every race, it is not won until it is ended. So you have to be on guard against people who would come to confuse you, who would bear false witness to you, who will tell you wickedness. And on election day they will tell you you don't need to go to vote, that the APNU AFC win already. Well, we don't win already, we know we will win, but we'll win already. We have to win it in order to say we have won it. So you have to mobilize everyone. Everyone on the list. This is the time you have to hold on to your neighbors and let them know that election day, no rum drinking, no smoking, no other thing. You have to go out early and vote. You're voting for the regional vote. The hand and the key. You see this? The palm. Someone said it's the palm on the key. But for me, it's the hand. This is a clean hand. This is not a thieving hand. This is not a corrupt hand. Look at this hand. This is a clean hand on a key that will open up the door to the future of our country. So tonight, I don't want to give you a long talk. I know you're following the progress that has been made in this country, that you know that we have done things that have never been done before by any government in a first term. Non-government within a first term has increased wages by 77% in the public service. No government in the first term has increased old age pension by more than 100%. No government in the first term has ever decided to give pensioners the right to a free driver's license. No government in the first term has decided to take so many people off the income tax bracket. If you are working for $780,000 unless a year, you don't have to even make an income tax declaration. And in the second term, we will make it go up to $1 million a year. You don't have to pay income tax. We kept our promises to you. We said we will reduce the VAT, the vampire tax that was introduced by Jacques Dale. We reduced it by 2%. We told you when they tried to raise the toll of the Barbies Bridge by 300%. Why? Because Jacques Dale's best friend bought the biggest share in the Barbies Bridge, and they wanted to fleece the hides of the people. They want to increase the toll for an ordinary car from what it is, Johnson, $1,200 to $8,000. Do you know what would have happened to you in Tongue? Because the trucks that are bringing greens, Biden and Bora and so from Barbies, they got to pay $30,000, $40,000. They couldn't cross that bridge to bring down vegetables and fruits to you. So we didn't go along with that plan. We lift the bridge out of the hands of those who wanted to fleece the hides of children going across. And you must have been told about these good works in the 5 Bs of buses and boats and bicycle and boots and books and book bags and breakfast. More than 5. More than 5. And after the elections, we wanted first to make sure that benefits reach the children who are going to school. We are in favor of a cash transfer. We have been discussing it at Cabinet, and we agreed that we will have a cash transfer. We'll have to work it out to ensure that the children going to school benefit. So President Granger has announced that we will have cash for parents with children in school. We will work that out. We will work that out. These are not empty promises. What we are doing is to ensure that our children benefit from a first-class, world-class education. And if you look throughout Guyana, from Quarantine right to Point Player, everywhere that has been touched by the clean hands of this government, everywhere has seen improvement. The roads, the street lights, new communities, community centers, renovated schools and health centers. You could see the story of development, the West Demerara Road, and soon, if you dream with me, Martin Luther King, and Sophia, of course, you could see the roads that were once wasted, muddy dams. But the work is just started. Things are going to happen. Progress will come, and we will make development as we go along, as we get more resources, as we get more money. We will be able to continue the good work. But Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, and I want you to dream with us in the coalition that one day we will have a new bridge, modern 4-lane bridge across the Demerara River. That congestion will not last forever, like you'll have a 4-lane road coming in through Sherry Street and Mandela Avenue. We'll have a new road from Ogle to Diamond to link the East Coast Highway with the East Bank Highway. We'll have a road from Parika to a place called Goshen. And from there we will build a bridge across the Essequibo River. Dream with me. Dream with me. That with the Berbice River, you could then cross. We have a dream and we have a plan to build a bridge across the Quarantine River. One walk you could make from Suriname right through Guyana, through Essequibo. One day, and then we have the plan to complete the Georgetown to Latham Road, a highway, then another road from Itchuni to Kakwani that will join the Quarantine Highway. So we'll open the land, not because we like roads. We need the road to open land. We need the road to create jobs. We need the road to create crops. And that is why President Granger announced that those former sugar workers who want to do crop cultivation in the sugar belt, they will be provided with land to do agriculture. Because the opposition is exploiting the situation in the sugar industry to divide us, to tell Indo-Guyanese that they are being penalized by this government. But I want to let you know that we have a vision, we have a plan. Stay in line, stay focused, stay committed and dedicated, because yours will be a beautiful, happy future. Martin Carter once wrote a poem. He wrote a poem, "This is a dark time, my love. All around brown beetles crawl, watching you sleep and aiming at your dreams." They're not aiming at you, they're aiming at your dreams. And we know that in Guyana, you have the PPPC, Jack Dale and his cronies are aiming at your dream. They want to snatch your future. They want to get back into power so that they will dominate this country. No more should we have domination. No more should we have corrupt one-party rule. So remember where we have come from. This opportunity will not come to you again. I told meetings throughout Guyana that when David, Granger and I came together, it was if destiny wanted it that way. We both, David and Moses, we both attended the same primary school. His father came to work in my village, Wim, on the Quarantine. And we attended the Alkaline Primary School. We both About the same time, wanted to join the army. He got in. I was rejected. I was half an inch too short, I'm told. We both attended the University of Guyana. He pursued advanced studies elsewhere, in bigger universities, not the University of Highflux, University of Lenora. Genuine university. He became a journalist. I became a journalist. He became a publicist. I became a writer. And so we followed similar trend in life. But above all, we have been committed to people, to serve people. And that is why we say proudly, you could say what you want to say of us. You could say anything you want about us. No one could point a finger at old Naga and say he corrupt or he thief. I haven't owned a single piece of state land. I am qualified for it. I never applied for a piece of state land, not even to build a house. I bought my car before I was in office, and maybe I was entitled to 13 or 16 duty-free vehicles, but I only took 2 of them. They were encouraging me, take it. What am I going to do with it? Jack, they'll tell me by put them on your bottom house and cover them with a cheddar. How much car you want? And that is why they end up going into Pradoville 1. And they ain't helped themselves enough to state land. They gone into Pradoville 2. And they take another set of land there. And then the man decided he going to increase his salary by 500% in 2009. 500% to push up the salary because he know he ain't going back for president. No third term. And so your pension is calculated on the basis of 7/8 of your last salary. So he got a pension for more than $1.5 million because he pushed up the pension. And not only the pension he pushed up, he increased the number of guards, the number of vehicles, no cap on it. Any number of vehicles, any number of gardeners, any number of cooks. But the one that was for me, when I said my soul rattled, I was there, I said my soul rattled by what you guys are doing. He said, you should have 1 first-class ticket a year to travel anywhere in the world. And not only he must have it, he put the former president and spouse. And at that time, he didn't even have a mouse. But he put it there so he can take it. Because he said that you're entitled to it. So that these people, be careful, I told you. But the same would apply to President Granger. I worked with him now coming close to 5 years. Today we sit side by side. Every week we sit side by side. He's a gentle, gracious man. He's a gentle man. A family man. But above all, working with him, I saw his calm demeanor. I think if he wants to rough up somebody, he will lose this old warrior on them. Because I chair the cabinet, I have my hard moment too. I used to have it before when I used to tell ministers not to travel overseas. All of them hated me. Not this people, not one set of people. You have to be able to be frugal. When a former Attorney General in the PPP government, Jagan, used to put me to chair cabinet, said he got to travel first class. I asked him why. He said his legs are long. Jagan was leaving the cabinet room, he walking back, he said, you know, the best seat in the plane when your leg long is to go at the back. because a lot of people don't fly in the economy. So you're going to have 4 seats. You can ask for a little pillow and a little bed sheet and you can sleep at the back. So people didn't like that because every cent, I told that Attorney General, a former Attorney General, I did a measurement, get somebody to do a measurement of a village, how much it will cost to take water in the main street and set up 4 well pipe. That is, in those days you got standpipe. Women that have to, pregnant women, everybody got to go till the well site with bucket on their head and pay people with jackass cart to fetch a barrel to your house. And I wanted water in the village. The money that will cost to upgrade the economy size ticket to first class ticket was more than it cost to run the pipe in the village. And so we learned the frugal way. We learned to cut the corners. So when we decided initially that 9 ministers were going to get an increase in the pay, that was a one for all. In the last 5 years, not a single cent was given to any minister in wage increase. And we cut the corners and trips, and we encouraged them to fan out, to reach out, to go out to the people, and to have all the outreaches you see ministers have been having, and they've been solving your problem, whether it is land problem, housing problem, water problem, street light problem, school problem, all your problems, we have been reaching out to you. That is a working government. And that is a government that you want to return to office, a government that is committed. And as I said, we don't need to be lectured by anyone overseas about the nature of our government and how we are treating the resources of this country. We have struck first oil. I wrote in an article that that is our magic moment. You all remember the Benny King and the Drifters? Yeah. This magic moment. You know the song. And you wish that it could last forever. Forever. Till the end of time. So we have oil. And we know that it is our magic moment. And we want it should last. Well, we know it's not going to last forever. But we know that in the first 10 years, we will transform our country and make Guyana a model in the world. Already we are being hailed as a country with the fastest growing economy in the world. We are described as the major destination for tourism, the major destination for investors. People are going to be traveling here like fleas. But we need a good government to keep our country stable, to keep our country peaceful, and to keep our country united. And that government must be the APNUAFC government. So now, I want you to remain firm in your conviction. Stay focused and return David Granger as the President of Guyana, the Commander-in-Chief and the head of state, because in this election, the party that wins the election not only forms the government, but takes the presidency. And we have an executive president in Guyana with a lot of power. So you cannot put the power in the wrong hand. You cannot put the power in an unclean, dirty, thieving hand. And do not, for heaven's sake, be tempted or let you be persuaded to put Ali Baba and the 40 thieves in office. Do not be tempted to waste your ballot. Vote constructively, purposefully. Vote for the coalition APNUAFC. Thank you very much for listening to me. It was a pleasure talking to you tonight. Good night. Good night. Impossible to lose freedom of PPP no more. Remember what PPP do. True and true.
mash up the